or roast, and you've seen kind of a whitish kind of tough, I guess you'd call it bristle at this point. That would be fascia that's encircling the muscle. It's kind of found on the outside of roasts and stuff like that. Same thing as you see inside the human body.
Okay.
It's going to encase and enclose the muscle itself, and then it gradually gets smaller and it actually attaches to the bone called the tendon.
It's like a sausage.
It is a little bit like sausage. There should be a nice picture of that in your
There
book
is.
somewhere. My drawing is not the best.
So
But yeah, that would be a skeletal muscle. The skeletal muscle is completely voluntary, meaning we have control over it. We also have smooth muscle, which is sometimes called visceral muscle. So your skeletal muscle is sometimes called striated, because when you look at it, it looks like it's striped. It's striated. You have these little darker patches as well, the actin and myosin, which are actually going to help the contraction happen. I'm not going to get into that. But your smooth muscle does not have these obvious fibers associated with it. It looks a little bit smoother. So your smooth muscle is involuntary, or sometimes called visceral, because it's in the cavities of the body. Skeletal muscle, again, very, very controllable. That's how we walk, run, write, all of those things. We have control over the skeletal muscles. Some muscle control we have voluntary control of, but we also have involuntary mechanisms in place so that if something happens, the body won't die. For example, if you hold your breath for a very, very long time, what's going to happen?
you pass out.
You're going to pass out. The minute you pass out, what's going to happen?
You breathe.
You start to breathe. Because the nervous system is then taking over for that. Yeah, I was a horrible mom, because whenever my son wanted to like throw a fit, I'm going to hold my breath until I die. So I was like, go ahead. You know, of course, he's like freaking out. And I'm like, oh, go ahead. You're not going to die that way. But that being said, same thing with the heart. The heart has an extremely unique muscular system. Myocardium is a specific type of muscle fiber. It is only found in the heart. And what's so interesting about the myocardium is it actually connects. Each one of the muscle fibers is actually connected. So they don't have to get single impulses from the nervous system. Once they all get this, they get it at the same time, so they can contract together and work very closely together. So they're called intercalculated discs as far as the myocardium, which is the muscle of the heart. Myo meaning muscle, and cardium, heart. Myocardium. So it's the only place you will ever find that type of muscle fiber is in the heart itself. And as a matter of fact, it actually has its own little kind of nervous system associated with it. So if you took a biopsy of somebody's heart while you had them open in surgery, you put it under a microscope slide immediately, it would still be beating until it runs out of oxygen. So it's got its own little kind of nervous system that works with it. It's really cool.
That's cool.
Okay, the smooth versus skeletal. If I come back, I might come back to do this, but I've got a lot of this to cover. Alright, so you guys know your functions. Basically, it's controlling all of the inner and outer stimuli. So if something's cold, your nervous system's going to realize that it's cold through those receptor cells in the skin. It's going to send notices to the brain, right? And the brain's going to determine what action needs to be taken to stop us from freezing to death. So it can make the blood vessels constrict or get smaller. It can cause the goosebumps. Some of those are reflex arcs, meaning it doesn't actually have to go to the brain, like getting your foot burned. If you step close to the fire, what's going to happen?
Gets hot.
Pain, right?
Right.
Pain receptors are going to be triggered to go, oh my gosh, something is happening down there. We need to stop it. It doesn't need to go all the way up to the brain for the brain to realize what's going on and then go, okay, I need to send a signal back down to move my foot. That's a reflex arc. It just goes straight to the spinal cord and then right back. So it doesn't have to go all the way up to the penthouse to get the information from the boss. It's kind of one of those things. It's a protective mechanism. Whereas some of the other things, like if we choose to do something with our external environment or internal environment, that may need to go all the way up to the head or to the brain to be deciphered and then sent back down. So there's two different types of reactions that we're talking about when we're talking about the homeostasis and the coordination of body systems. Okay? Make It's those neurons, and again, they transmit nerve impulses, which is information basically. It's just information. Cell body, axon, dendrite, and then we have bundles of axons which make up the nerves. You have 12 pair of cranial nerves and 31 pair of spinal nerves, which is your peripheral nervous system, and then all of the branches from there. And I'm going to tell you what the 12 pair are because they will come back and haunt you. I have to be a little bit older, but